Guys, it's Lady Hoggout, the Awkward Witch. How are you all tonight? How's been your weekend so far? This light is fucking. Okay. I spent 3 days at home. That was kind of unusual for me. So yeah, I've been 3 days at home just working and catching up on life. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very tired today. Well, I'm not that tired really. I feel like I should sleep, but I don't want to. Even though I have to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow for Mass. Anyway, so I thought I'd address this, I guess. What's it like to be a pagan witch? A pagan witch that is in a renowned cathedral, in the choir of a renowned cathedral. What's it like to be that kind of person in that kind of religious setting? I think a lot of people, I haven't gotten questions about it yet, which, I guess I'm not popular enough to get questions, but I feel somebody probably has a question in the back of their mind, and I do too. It's very interesting to think about. I always try to, I go to Mass every Sunday. Depending on holidays, sometimes we have a few more Masses during the week, during Easter, Christmas, whatever. And I've always, I've done the basic things, not gotten the bread and wine for communion, not, done the little blessing things for the gospel readings, right? I went, totally in the opposite direction. Just not done some things. And I'm not the only one in the choir that's not Catholic. I don't have to ask, but there are one or two other people that just don't say anything. I guess they might be Jewish. So, yeah, it's I still feel like I'm trying to adjust, though, half the time. Because I don't say any of the words. I don't say anything, but even in that setting, one thing that I always do, I try to incorporate, I suppose, is, they will say, bless the passing of this person, may they find happiness in the eternal life, something like that. And then everyone says, Christ, hear our prayer, or Lord, hear our prayer. And I don't say that. In my head, I'm saying something else. I don't even speak. But in my head, I'm saying the name of a god or goddess or a guardian that I think is appropriate for that moment. It's the passing of a person. I pray to the horn god, breed. In my head, I'm praying for certain people. Especially when they pray for the sick and lonely, I definitely pray to breed. Things like that. And, in my head, I'm saying the name of that god or goddess, and then saying, blank, hear my prayer. Even in the religious house, the cathedral, the church is known as the house of God. So, is it appropriate to think of the pagan gods and your own faith, to even think it in that house? And I say yes. I know it's the house of God, but I also think it's a place of peace and beauty and community. And even though it's mostly a Christian community, it's a sense that everyone's thinking the same thing. That everyone's thinking about the words the Pope is saying. The Bishop, the Archbishop, Timothy Dolan, in this case. And everyone's trying to take in his wisdom. And I think that's very important to hold on to, regardless of what faith you are. And also, there's also even a more interesting thing, is that this is St. Patrick's Cathedral. St. Patrick was a figure who did a lot of great things. I have to, and it is a Celtic saint, so I'm a Celtic witch. So it's hey, you think that would be a more connecting thing for me, but you know what? St. Patrick, according to history, was responsible for the massacre of a lot of druids, and I like a lot of druid principles. I look up to druid priestesses and people like that, Philip Carr, Cargom, his name is, I believe. I feel like I'm a druid in my heart, and the fact that he did that, doesn't really make me that positive to him, to be honest. But I still try to take in all the good qualities, good things that he did. I also look around to all the saints and see them. I always see the saints as people, or the god and goddess. Breed was made a saint. As either the people, as I always see the saints as good people and who brought something to the world, and try to appreciate them for that, but not look up to them or pray to them as saints. Yeah, and do I think anyone knows a pagan? I don't know. I wear a cross sometimes, so they probably, if anyone thinks about it, they're probably really confused because I do wear a cross. But it's something else. It's one of those things that I try to integrate. I don't wear it as a Jesus cross. I wear it as, for me, it's an element of spirit and the 4 elements. And it's also a sign of Breed's cross for me. That's why I wear it. So I reinterpreted that symbol for my own beliefs. But I know other people are assuming I'm Catholic if I wear a cross. But on the other hand, I don't go to communion. I don't say things. So if people are wondering, people are probably wondering what the hell is wrong with me. And, or why I don't do these things in, church during Mass. But I wear a cross. Yeah, so that's kind of a funny thought. They might also, I don't know. Because sometimes I also wear my Tree of Life. I don't have a Wiccan symbol because the pentacle, that's not really a symbol I follow so much, but I do have a Tree of Life thing. You might have seen it in a video. It's like gold. It's got some turquoise things for the leaves. It's really cool. My dad got it for me for a present. Yeah, I love that necklace. I wear it in rituals and spells now. It's like my religious thing. And sometimes I've worn that to Mass rehearsals and Mass. And, yeah, no one's questioned it. No one's even looked at it and said that's a nice thing, though, either, so I don't know. Anyway, but as you can imagine, there's a lot of devout Christians in the choir. But there's also a lot of beautiful, accepting people. And, they're definitely a community of friendly, warm kind of Catholics. I don't know how they react if they found out I was a pagan witch. I'm sure some of them would back away slowly. But yeah, anyway, that's my take on basically being a witch in a Catholic choir. So, yeah. I guess if you guys have any questions, just ask me, because I'm sure I can answer them by now. I've been in the choir for, January, February, March. Has it been 5 months? Yeah, it's been about 5 months already. At the same time, it feels like longer, but anyway. Yeah, so I guess that's my take on it. So basically, I still practice my own faith within the cathedral. And some people might think that's wrong. I don't see anything wrong with it. So, yeah. That cathedral also was built on a foundation. That city, those platforms, those pavements were built on natural platforms. All buildings were not there in the beginning. It was all nature and woods. So I think that remembering that is very important in thinking when I go through the city and remembering the souls of those trees and all. But anyway, that's not really the point. The point is that I still try to integrate my faith in the cathedral. Sometimes it still feels awkward, but most of the I'm getting used to it. Super, super used to it. So, yeah. So I guess I just wanted to talk about that. If anyone has any similar experiences, please let me know. I'm very intrigued as to how other people feel about these things. So, I gotta go to sleep now. So, Merry Part.